What's up? NFL draft Eve. Phillies get swept by the Mets. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm John Marks the Spot. Delco Steve with me today, as always, on Wednesday night. What's up, everybody? What's up, Delco Steve? I gotta put you up there. Sorry. What's up,
What
buddy?
up? What's going
on? Nothing. I'm trying to figure out some things on the fly.
We're always good for that kind of production.
Well, listen, I had softball again tonight, so just lucky to get the children to sleep by 9 o'clock to come down here and do this. So, yep. And I left like in the last inning so I could get two of them home, like showered and stuff. And I took my oldest daughter. I'm like, you got to go home. We got to get showered. Come on. You got a busy day tomorrow. And like, she just flipped her shit. Like she was mad. And like, I didn't really care. And my wife was like, no, because they have PSAAs or PSSAs this week. She's in third grade. So you have to pencil, like the standardized test. And it's like, they really build it up to where they're like, oh, well, we have to like bring candy in the school. So it helps us concentrate and we can only go to the bathroom one at a time. And I'm like, will you leave these poor kids alone? This test is about you and saving your ass. Don't freak these kids out. Don't stress them out about it. So anyway, yes, she was mad.
It's not that deep.
No, who cares? You think that it matters at all? All right. So one of the things I'm working on the fly is I have another laptop. So let's see if this makes it look better. Because like when I want to be able to look at you when I talk into the camera, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm just like looking. I can't. There's no monitor behind it. So I have a laptop that I was hoping would be able to be like at eye level of where my camera is, but it's not. So really, it's done nothing to the whole thing. Absolutely nothing.
Just slightly less looking off to the outside.
We got Scott from King of Prussia. You kidding me? What's up, Scott? How you doing, buddy? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? As Delco Steve, listen, man, this is for a lot of football fans out there, both pro and college. This is like the next 3 days is the best thing ever. I can't wait to see. Like, forget about the Eagles stuff because I don't even think they're going to pick tomorrow night.
I don't know.
But like whatever, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen at the top of this first round. Outside of the first 4 picks, anybody's guess. Now they're saying Genty could go 5 to Jacksonville, which seems like that's the betting favorite now. So anyway.
I don't even think the top 4 is solid at the moment. I don't know.
No, really?
I feel like something stupid. Stupid's gonna happen.
I don't. Like what?
I don't know. Like either one of these two teams, either the Browns.
What up, Kevin Kincaid from Crossing Broad, by the way.
What either the Browns or the Giants trade back, or the Patriots take something off board because Campbell's arms aren't long enough, or I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this is a weird draft. This draft is, when I was going through the players, it's just like, God, this first round is not great whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the first 3 is a lock. And
well, that's what I'm saying. I think so what I'm saying with the Browns and Giants, I think because Hunter and Carter and even like Genty's, like they're so much better than the guys at 15, 16, 17 that you could have, trade teams like mortgaging the future kind of trades.
Nobody's to go up that. I totally disagree. Who's mortgaging their future for a running back? It's one thing. I'm saying for
Carter. I'm saying for like Carter or Hunter.
I mean, like I think Hunter's a really good prospect. Not even a really good prospect. I think he's his potential to be like an all-time great based on what he can do offensively and defensively. But like, what are you're going to mortgage your future to get a cornerback and a wide receiver? I don't know, man.
It's not like quarterback mortgage or future, but it's, trade next year's first kind of thing from 11 or 12.
Yeah, but why would you do that if you're a 2 or 3 and you know that Abdul Carter is like, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a stud, and that that Hunter is going to be a stud. Why would you give up that pick to pick 11? And we know the difference between 3 and 4 and 11 is huge. You're really like rolling the dice. 11 and 32, unless you're gonna go back to, let's say, 11. And then you'll go back again to like 20 and maybe even trade further back. And you're trying to accumulate as much draft.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Like I could see that, but don't you take the sure thing?
I
sure the thing is anything in this draft, man.
I would, but these teams do stupid. These teams at the top do stupid things, and that's why they're always at the top.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, and what's up? It's a Wrap Sports. What is it? So it's a Wrap Sports? Are you like? Is this a very popular blog, or is it you have 2 listeners to you? Let's see. It's a Wrap Sports. Let me see. I don't really see much. Oh, here it is. A Philadelphia Sports Talk Network. Real Philly sports, real Philly people. That actually looks really good. I see they're actually live right now talking about the Philadelphia Union. What's up? It's a Wrap Sports. What's going on? What's up, Oz? What's up, everybody? So, all right. So let's just get the Phillies out of the way, and then we can.
Oh boy.
By the way, why is my helmet in the background on fire? You see it? Do I need to not blur the background?
Oh, try on blur in the background.
All right.
It's doing something.
I know, but I don't know what to do about it here. All right, let's see. Virtual background. I currently have it.
Well, if you're going to start decorating your background, why would you blur it?
Well, it was on there from before. All right, so it doesn't look like it's on fire now.
It's that weird cone that you got to be in. So
it looks
like
better.
how you had your cup thing.
Right. Yeah. All right, so it looks better. Phillies lose today. They get swept by the Mets. They're 1 game over 500. The Mets are clearly the better team. I mean, like, it's early, crowd. It is early. Who knows how this team is going to be playing in September, October. However, and tomorrow on Philly with John Marks, I'm going to attack all of the people that were wagging the finger at Phillies fans that weren't excited about the season. And the reason why they weren't excited about the season was because there wasn't change. And it felt like they needed some type of change in this lineup. It just did. And I know they tried. I'm trying to say they didn't try, but there was a lot of finger wagging going on at Phillies fans that were kind of like, I don't feel great about this season. I didn't hear anybody say, Phillies suck. They're going to miss the playoffs. They blow it up. I heard a lot of people saying Arizona figured them out in the NLCS 2 years ago. It got worse last year. And I don't know why things would change if, like, the last 2 years are the last 2 years, right? Like the last half of last season, they're under 500 in the last 100 games, period. So, like, okay. I wasn't particularly negative coming into the season, but I totally also understood people that were kind of like, about this team, because I was like, all right, like everybody's telling me they're the 3rd or 4th best team in baseball. Like, I don't necessarily know if I believe that. They have great starting pitching, but their offense sucks. Absolutely blows. This team's offense sucks. And we can bitch about the bullpen. We can complain about
bullpen is brutal.
Yeah, but it wasn't today.
I mean, they put Romano out there, and look what happens.
They put Romano out there, but also, like, they had the runner on second base to start, and like he threw a good pitch to Alonso. I don't know how the hell Alonso got so much air under that ball. He crushed it where he was like literally he barely even hit the ball, and then the game-winning hit was kind of like a broken bat humpback liner. I barely even cleared the infield. Like, the bullpen's not very good. The story is the offense, and the story is Bryce Harper, who's cold right now, Trey Turner, who sucks, JT Realmuto, who sucks. Castellanos is streaky, and Stott actually looks good. But you're talking about Trey Turner giving you next to nothing. Bryce Harper's been cold. Castellanos has gone cold here. Schwarber's still like doing all right. He hasn't had much power. It's like This lineup's not good enough. And when they get into the summer and they face bad teams, they'll be hitting home runs all over the place and we'll be feeling good again. But what happens when you face good teams like the Mets that have good starting pitching? We've seen it the last 3 days. Outside of one inning, the 9th inning, they did squat.
Yep.
And they got swept, man. This was not the series I needed to feel better about the Phillies, Delco Steve.
Yeah, especially after like a great start today by Wheeler to not capitalize on that, to avoid the sweep. It's a gut punch of a loss today. Honestly, I didn't even see the end. I'm obviously, middle of the day game.
Yeah, no, I believe me. I understand.
It's like the last thing I saw though was they were up 3-2 in the top of the 10th. And I'm like, all right, cool. They're going to pull this one out and yada, 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 yada. And then, next thing I see Romano was in and it's like, oh, of course they lost.
Yeah. And he's the last person you want to see. The problem is you don't really have anybody else that you could have went to. It was fairly obvious. Everybody was asking the same question. Alvarado gave you 2 scoreless innings, which is awesome. Strahm gave you a good inning. Wheeler gave you 6. But, Romano came in and, the biggest spot of the game was, and they've been so bad with situational hitting and not being able to get runners in from third base with less than 2 outs. It's been plaguing them all season long. It happened again in the 10th inning. They had runners on second and third. Runners on second and third. I'm just pulling up the play-by-play here.
Yeah, pretty sure they did.
So they get the run. They get the run in the 10th. And then you have Stott flies out to center, and then Kepler flies out to right. So you had, second and third. You Real Muto on second, Castellanos at third.
They were both pinch hitters at that point, right?
No. Who?
Stott and Kepler. Then they come in.
I guess they would have had to have been. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like going to the pitch hitters in the.
Well, hold on. Let me pull up the box score. I'm blanking on.
I'm pretty sure I saw that they pinch hit there because like I said, I was watching.
So
they both pinch hit.
So Scott.
No, Kepler. No, Kepler was
Kepler. Yeah, Kepler was in there. I knew one of them was, but he pinched it and then stayed in the game.
Right.
Because they were playing left-right matchups, but so they get a single. It loads the bases. And unfortunately, Castellanos couldn't score because it was a single, but it was like they weren't going to send him. It was only 1 out. It would have been a close play at the plate, but you got to get that run in because that gives them a 4-2 lead. And in extra innings where the runner already starts on second base and Romano's coming in, it's like you knew it was a killer. You knew it was a killer, and it ended up being a killer. So, they're there you go. Fire Topper, fire Dombrowski. There we go. So what do we have this year? We're stuck with Bryce Harper. Wow, man, I don't feel like that at all. So here I was at softball tonight. I was talking about this with one of the dads, my buddy John, and he's like, man, I'm worried, right? Yeah, me too. Starting pitching alone, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they should just with their starters alone. It looks
Sanchez
great.
Is good.
Well, I'm worried about Sanchez. Anytime you get forearm tightness and they're that quick to say everything's fine, hold on. Wait, how do you know everything's fine? Because you tell me everything's fine. So we'll see. That turns into Tommy John. That's the precursor. If it's not the elbow, when you get that forearm tightness, that's UCL surgery. That's Tommy John. That's your UCL ligament. So hopefully that's not the case, and we'll see. But the way the Phillies are playing right now, and I don't know if people agree with me on this, when you're losing games and you're struggling offensively, I'm not the body language is going to be poor. I don't necessarily know if their body language is poor. They just look defeated. They have no confidence right now. And I just look back to when Joe Girardi, his last year before he got whacked, and guys just were they just didn't seem happy. They just didn't seem into it. Not that they weren't trying, but sometimes you don't realize that you're just going out there and you're kind of going through a slog. I mean, it happens to us with work, right? I'm sure it happens to you, Steve, where you go through periods where you're just like this sucks, or I don't feel like getting out of bed today or whatever. And right now there's something off with the Phillies. And I don't believe Rob Thompson is going to get fired. And I suppose he has earned the right to work the team out of this. They're one game over 500, which isn't good enough, but it's early in the season. It's April. Believe me. Everybody tells me that. But
yeah,
I'm also not
good.
No, go ahead.
No, it just seems like like you said, like their mojo's not there. They're not like they're not that fun, energetic team that they've been like they were at the start of last year, at the end of the season before. It's it like you said, it's a majority of the same guys, and we all know that they're like the top 4 guys are all capable of carrying the offensive load of this team. But when you got nothing from I guess Alec is coming out of it a little bit.
No, he has a 10-game hitting streak.
Right. So he's coming out of his batting average is coming up, but it's still not like for power or
he also doesn't carry to your point, he doesn't carry you. Bryce Harper can carry you, Kyle Schwarber can carry you because they're big power bats. Yeah, and Bohm's like he's getting hits, but he's not having an impact like these other guys.
Right. Like Bohm should be able to hit home runs on more of a regularity than he does. He doesn't even have one this year, right? Or
he had 3 hits today. Bohm, I don't think he has a home run this year. He had 3 hits today. JT had it grounded into the double play. He had a strikeout, but they put up his line in the because he walked, but they put up his line. It's like, Jesus, man, like you suck. You're like, terrible.
Ground out, fly out.
God, man. Yeah. So like it's crazy in baseball in particular. Because I remember when there was talk about firing Joe Girardi, and then when they fired him, I always believed that baseball, more than any other sport, that just changing the manager can have such an impact. And I remember Ken Rosenthal, that weasel rat, Ken Rosenthal. He came out and was like, "Oh, so firing Joe Girardi is going to fix the bullpen, and firing Joe Girardi is going to fix this underachieving lineup, and firing Joe Girardi is going to fix everything that ails the Phillies." And it's like, you know what? Yeah, it could. Have you not watched baseball, Ken? Aren't you a freaking reporter? Happens all the time where you get a different voice in there and it takes everything. Rob Thompson came in and they've been a different team since. Rob Thompson was the exact opposite of Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi at that point, he knew he was managing for his job. He was freaking miserable. He's wound really, really tight. And then Topper goes from being the bench coach to now he's in charge, and he's very laid back. He's a player's manager. He has confidence in guys. And you can see, it's like Larry Boa, when he took over for Terry Francona, Larry Boa got instant results his first year because Terry Francona was easy on the guys. Larry Boa isn't easy on the guys. He gets pissed, right? And then Larry, that all ran thin with the players. Then they brought in Charlie Manuel. And then Charlie Manuel with the players. It worked. So Topper came in for Girardi, and it really, really worked.
So moral of the story is never hire a hard ass.
Well, no, I think they need a hard ass now. I think they need guys. They need somebody, and you're never like the Larry Boa managers of the world are pretty much, but like, Topper is not like, he's not getting after the guys. Does he have conversations or whatever? Yeah, like it worked. He did a really good job for a couple of years. They also have a lot of talent and a high payroll. So it's not like he's working with a $90 million payroll and he's getting all these results. The buttons that he used to push that worked are not working anymore. The managing of the bullpen hasn't been great. And
dude, managing the bullpen's been atrocious. There's not really much else to say about it. I'm not dialed in watching every single game, but it feels like every time I'm tuned in watching, it's, they're up or something. And then it's like, here's the bullpen, letting them back in. I don't know. Come on,
Homer, speak the truth. Are you talking to the chat, or you like, it's a rap sport. It's the first time he's been there. Yeah. Like, listen, you're not going to fire Rob Thompson based on what he's done here right now. But if this team's kind of still slugging along, I think they have a responsibility to think about it. Right. And hopefully it doesn't come to it, but
okay. So let's say All-Star break and we're still 1-2 games over 500. Yeah. It's definitely a conversation that needs to be had, but it's good.
No, we don't think he's earned the right. I'm talking about this point. They played 25 games.
Yeah, it's been cold. It's been miserable. It's like this is the first warm week of the season. It's not fun playing baseball when it's 40 degrees and windy. And it'll every time, like Charlie said, when hitting weather comes around, the offense will pick up. And if it doesn't, then there's obviously conversations that need to be had. And if you're at 500 right now, or you're still within reaching distance of the Mets, it's not like abandoned ship time.
Yeah. Can the Phillies win a World Series as is right now? Well, I mean, you still have the trade deadline, and Dombrowski did not help the team last year at the trade deadline. So you hope he would do a better job with that. But you can't cherry pick how a team is playing in April, because look how the Phillies played in the first half of last year. The best team in baseball by far. They were rolling through the first couple months of the season. And then look what happened. About 500 team the rest of the way, more or less. And got dominated by the Mets in the playoffs. And like the Mets clearly look like a better team. But I can't do the thing where it's like right now. Of course, right now they don't look like they could win a World Series. But and unfortunately, I have to go back to this. It's all and honestly, it's been like this the whole season. It doesn't it matters how they play right now because they have to win enough games to make the playoffs. But ultimately, the year that they went to the World Series, were they playing great early on? Do I need to go back and get the records through 25 games?
They were probably way under 500.
They were not good because I did it after 15 games, and this team had better records than any of those teams did. There was a 5-10 team that was mixed in there. So, yeah, I know it's and by the way, I'm not telling Phillies fans, because there are a lot of people out there are like, look, come on, man, you're overreacting. No, you're allowed to be pissed off after the Phillies lose games. You're allowed to be pissed off after the Phillies lose to the Mets, get swept by the Mets. No, let's do it. I'm pissed. But I'm also not firing Rob Thompson after 25 games. Sorry. And I'm not going to say they can't win a World Series because they do have the starting pitching. Sometimes in baseball, it's that intangible thing where for whatever reason, everybody just clicks at the same time and the clubhouse has this chemistry and they have confidence. This team has no confidence right now. So you just hope they can get their mojo back at some point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you told me they were in the playoffs next weekend, I would say they don't have anywhere close to a shot with the bullpen that they have.
How about the offense?
Well, okay, great. If the game's 1-0 us going into the bottom of the ninth, or bottom of the seventh, and you're throwing Romano out there or Kirkering or something, the only two guys that I have any semblance of faith in is Strom and Alvarado, and
two left-handers.
Right. And Alvarado is always good for every so often having an appearance where it's just there's 5, see ya. So it's does he have all the talent? Of course he does, but he's also
he drives you nuts. Oh no, he can drive you nuts for sure.
So it's you take those two guys out of it. It's I'll take the $8 million to pitch as bad as Romano is. I could give up 8 runs in a meaningless 11-3 or 11-2 lead. Come on. It's that was your signing? Was Romano? Come on. It's literally him and Kepler are the only 2 substantial pieces you added to the team, and they're both have done nothing.
So
and Kepler's coming out of it a little bit too, but
yeah, I mean, he seems like he's going to be all right.
He's squaring the ball up at least when I see him.
He's hitting it hard. No, he is. He's hitting it hard. Dombrowski spoke to the media and was asked about the bullpen, and he talked about Jeff Hoffman, and he actually said that the money that Hoffman got from Toronto, it was pretty much what the Phillies were offering him, but it was early in free agency. And once they said no, they wanted more money, the Phillies turned their attention to somebody else. They said, okay, well, we got to move on. And that's when they signed Romano, and that took them out of Jeff Hoffman. Maybe they should have waited to see what Hoffman's market was and said, hey, we still want to sign you, and read the market, which was you're not getting the money that you're asking for. Hoffman probably comes back to Philly if it's similar money. It's in Canada. Yeah, so I guess they're paid in American dollars, or
they are, but they're still taxed in Canadian tax, which is worse. Toronto is one of the worst.
Yeah, she's still in Toronto.
It's like being taxed in LA.
Right. Yeah, Toronto's a very expensive place to live. So
that's why Vladdy got $500 million. He's if I'm going to be playing here, I need a tax break or a big paycheck for this tax.
Jeff Hoffman is killing it in Toronto right now. If you had him in the back end of this bullpen, you'd be such a better bullpen.
Yep.
Jeff Hoffman. I let me depress myself real fast. Is 1.59 ERA. He said Dombrowski said they pursued him aggressively, but when he said they wanted more money than the contract that they offered him, then they said bye-bye. He's got 5 saves, 16 strikeouts in 11 innings, 1.59 ERA. He's 2-0. 2-0 with 5 saves so far. Delco Steve. There you go.
Toronto's playing good baseball right now.
Yeah, they are. It'd be nice to have them. All right, well, off day, and then the Cubbies in Chicago against the Cubs. The Cubs are playing. The Cubs offense is unbelievable.
That was saying, you want to talk about the polar opposite of offenses right now. They are belting the ball.
You know how baseball works, though. You think the Philly, like, oh my God, they just got swept by the Mets, and the Cubs were mashing the ball. The Phillies go and sweep the Cubs. So
probably. Didn't the Reds the other day have like 24 runs and then have like won the next night?
Yep. Indeed. But that should be wish I was going out to Chicago. I love Wrigley Field's amazing. Yeah, they're 15-10. The Cubs.
I did Wrigley 2 years ago. It's awesome.
Yeah, I went with my my late uncle, my dad, and Uncle Jamie. The 2019 before the pandemic. So and they played late. It wasn't Memorial Day weekend. It was the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday through Thursday leading up to Memorial Day, because I flew home on Friday morning and I went right to Farley Plaza for the Chickies and Pete's broadcast where they pay the tolls. So I was doing a show Friday morning. But yeah, Wrigley, the weather was great. It was warm. Oh man, I love Chicago. It's a great time.
We went out, me and 3 friends, we went out Labor Day weekend, and we made friends with, where the hell were, there was a lot of drinking involved that weekend, but we made friends the night before the game we went to, and he was a bartender at Wrigley, and he was like, text me at this point, and I will give you wristbands to like get into like my area, and it was pretty much like the Wells Fargo, like underneath, like where it's like all the open food, open drink.
Yeah.
So he like gave us wristbands and brought us down there, and we just drank for free from like the 4th inning on the rest of the game.
How many games did you go to? Just that one?
Just the one.
So we went
they won, so it was fun.
We went to it was a night game, and then the following day was the day game. So I guess it was Wednesday, Thursday. And so we were like 5 rows off the field on first base. Phillies lost. It was it was like, you know, the game sucked because there wasn't a lot of offense, but still, like, you're in Wrigley, we had good seats or whatever. The next day we sat out on the bleachers. If you ever go to Wrigley, if I went back to Wrigley, and if I had my kids, I don't know if I'd go in the bleachers every time I was out there. Easily the best sports experience outside of Philadelphia that I've been to is watching a day Phillies Cubs game in the bleachers.
Really?
Oh my God, dude. It was the 700 level Midwestern style. Except they weren't trying to fight us. They were fighting each other. That was the great thing. Like they loved us. They were nice to us, but they were fighting each other. And awesome. Security it's funny how security handles them, because it's like, oh, so now I understand what it is. They just get so drunk, and then they end up getting mad at each other and fighting, and then they get thrown out. Oh, it was great.
Is the bleachers in Wrigley the same as like old Yankee Stadium, where you couldn't you can't get into the rest of the stadium?
No, you can get in the rest of the stadium, but it's first come, first serve.
Okay.
So if you want to get your pick of the bleacher, you have to wait, and then when they let you in, you go. So you don't want to show up at the last minute or like after the game starts, but depending on how many people are there, because it's first come, first serve. It's the old metal benches.
Yeah. Just when we were getting tickets, someone was like, "Yeah, I don't want to sit in the bleacher. Like, I want to like be able to like walk around the stadium." And I was just like, "Okay." Like, the only other place I've ever heard of that was like old Yankee Stadium had like the one section where it was like, "Oh yeah, you could sit in the section, but you can't go to anywhere else in the stadium." So it was just like, I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to argue with it because I know it happens at places, but
right. Yeah. The only time I was ever at Yankee Stadium was it was the last year that it was open, and I went with Glenn Foley, who played for the Jets, and like he had a hookup, so we had like third row seats or something like that. It was awesome. That stadium was a dump. Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium. So Vince says best sports experience he's ever had was the Masters. He was just there.
Oh, damn, that's awesome.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, I think if I ever went to the Masters, I would probably just never go to sporting events again because that would just be the epitome.
Yeah, well, I'm not a terrorist, so I'm not gonna like I would go to the Masters to get like a cherry bomb and like just shoot it up in the air or whatever, with nothing to do with going to the Masters at all.
Why?
Oh my god, it's so pretentious. Oh my god, don't get me started on the Masters. Don't get me freaking started on the Masters.
I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. Like it's like, but like I like the no phone rule and like just like the old school like pricing of everything and like I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
I mean, like I don't care about the phone or like you don't want to have people's phones. Like, well, I don't care about that. It's just that it's every golf tournament, honestly. People going to. It's just
have you been? Have you been to a golf tournament?
Yeah, what's the is it the BMW championship or whatever? Yeah, I was out there a couple times. I have no interest in golf. I have no interest in playing golf. I have no interest in watching golf. I have no interest in going to golf. We went to Uncle Jamie's club for Easter brunch. He's was it Bluestone? It's in Bluebell, whatever it is. Very nice, very nice, very nice. But like, so it's a golf club. So it's like they had a nice brunch there and it was fine. But even just like everybody that's there, it's like, oh yeah, you're going out and hitting them today. Oh, shut up. Why don't you go be
You sound like you just live in like that, like Caddyshack when you go into a
go be a father. Go be a father and hang out with your kids. Do some housework for your wife.
Bring the kids with you to golf.
Ah, no.
Yeah.
Go be a father. I'm just like, yeah. So Vince, it's funny because we played that the Emmitt Smith thing, and Emmitt Smith hates Eagles fans because they never shut up when they see him. Michael Strahan, I think, was saying the same thing to in a nicer way to Vince, where everybody's yelling, "Go Birds!" and he hates it, obviously. But he's also Michael Strahan.
If I was from anywhere else, I would utterly hate that.
Hate it.
Like
hate it. Oh, Eagles fans are so annoying. It's great.
Like the role, like imagine like just being like, yeah, I'm gonna go hit up like I'm strolling through Tuscaloosa and everyone's like, "Roll Tide!" Like,
oh my god.
Like I say, "Roll Tide" is like a joke, but like if I had to listen to that like all the time, and I wasn't an Alabama fan,
oh yeah,
absolutely not.
Eagles fans are definitely right now probably the worst, the most annoying fan base for sure. Because I think we are normally anyway. And by the way, I love it. I'm all for it.
I have no problem with it. But like we're like you said, we're in the top 5 on a regular basis, let alone when we're winning.
When you win a Super Bowl
and won the Super Bowl.
Blow out the Chiefs. Oh, yeah. Jesus, man. And they're creating rules to try to ban our special play and all this other crap.
And I think a lot of people are just putting up with it right now just because we beat the Chiefs.
Right.
If we beat the Bills, we'd be getting crushed left and right.
All right. Well, let me actually share this tweet. In this account, I think this is a nice enough guy. But one more thing on the Phillies, and then we'll move on to the Eagles, to happier times. But let me see here, because this is this is the nonsense that I'm starting to see right now, which is think about the hauls they can get for Ranger Suarez, Strahm, Schwarber, Castellanos, Matt Kepler, JT Realmuto, Mundo Sosa, maybe even Aaron Nola at the trade deadline. Oh, so you're trading everybody at the trade deadline now? Okay, gotcha. That's what we're doing. Yep. Yeah. Let's just trade everybody. Final year contract for Kyle Schwarber. Let's just blow it up and start over with Bryce Harper and Trey Turner signed the long-term contracts, by the way. Trey Turner, 11 years left on his contract.
Was it? Was it a 13-year or was it an 11-year deal?
13.
So yeah, 11 years left. And when Harper's got like,
or maybe 8. It was, I don't know. Maybe it was anyway. Yeah. Like just stop. I know everybody's pissed. I'm pissed too. They're not trading everybody. All right. It's not going to get that bad. They will start winning games.
We need Jack to get a standing ovation for every other guy in the lineup.
Man, I'm just saying boo everybody. The hell with standing ovations. Let's give them some tough love, Philly. We've gotten soft. Let's go get them.
I'm fine with booing everybody. Hey, if it's warranted, let's go.
So, Vince, I talked about Lindor, what Lindor is for the Mets. That's what Turner should be. You're absolutely right. they signed Turner to be that guy. The impact Lindor has on that lineup is legit, and he started off really slow. They were booing him. He had a bad first season or first half to a season, and Turner's
it was first season and a half, I believe.
Was it for season and a half? Yeah,
because
people thought he was done.
Because someone was like, I think it's a rap saying we've been shit since London, but Lindor has been on fire since London. So he's had the complete opposite effect. He surged down the stretch last year, pretty much is was part of their huge run to the playoffs.
No, his second year, he batted .270 with 26 homers.
Was last year his second year or his third year?
This is his fifth year.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't realize he was there 5 years.
No.
He had 33 bombs last year, 273 at 30.
Finished second in MVP last year.
Yeah, he's had a real impact. I don't want this to be taken. Black Gritty always brings it up on my show when he talks about there's no spice on this team. There's a lot of salt, no pepper. But when you look at this team, like the Mets have a lot of Latin players. They have Pete Alonso, don't get me wrong, but they have there's a Latino influence on that team. Look around at the team. Harper, Stott, Turner, boom. Castellanos is he Latino? Is he part Latino? Castellanos, Rojas, obviously. Then you have Kepler, you have Schwarber, you have
Marsh.
JG, you have Marsh. You know what I mean? Do they have a black player on this team?
I don't think so. Sosa?
But Mundo Sosa, he's Latino. He's from, I believe, Dominican.
No. To answer your question, I don't think so.
Not real diverse. Honestly, he's from Panama. Yeah. So, listen, you sign players that you think are good players and whatever else. But, what I'm saying is that, when the clubhouse feels like it's a little bit, I don't know, stale, I'm telling you, they wanted to change things last year. And Bohm was the guy they thought they could move, and they didn't, and they couldn't. But, I mean, there's a staleness to all this right now.
Would you have signed a guy like Pete Alonso?
I think they were interested. It's just that it's tough how they were going to do it. But see, it's a rap sports. I'm getting to know your IQ just based on some of your comments here. I'm not playing any race card. I'm telling you that they have pretty much all of the same players in the clubhouse, and it's stale. Might be good to get some guys in there that have a little bit, I don't know, more energy. Team doesn't have any energy right now.
Little spark.
There's no spice in there. Yeah, some spark. Thank you, Delco Steve. Thank you. Yes. A bunch of boring whites, as been said.
Not the exciting whites. Maybe Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship can come play baseball.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Vince, you should put that on a T-shirt.
And the boring whites? Yeah, we can make our first 1,000 off of that. Should tell my wife.
There you go.
All right, so Eagles. Actually, let me pull up Fran Duffy's. I think he put out his final mock, or maybe that comes out tomorrow. But so we totally differ in what we think is going to happen. I think it's going to be chalk, and I'd be really surprised if it wasn't.
I'm just saying, I think this draft, I do. Okay, if you maybe put money on betting 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to put my money on that. But I'm just saying, with the fact that there's very limited high-end caliber prospects here that teams could be willing to move up to get. And then if it's okay, if you're trading your first next year and then you end up in 25 or later next year, what did you really give up? That's all I was really saying.
Right.
So it's I'll give up 10 and 25 next year for Carter.
But then what are you getting? I understand what you're saying. You want draft picks to do all this.
I'm saying those teams are stupid and do stupid things, and they've proven that over the years. So they would be might be enticed to do another stupid thing.
Well, I mean, you said it. You don't become a bad franchise by making great moves, but
right. That's my only thought process.
With that being said, I still would be shocked if they. Do
you know this is the first
went non-chalk?
like this is the first time in like 50 something years that everybody owns their actual first round pick.
No trades. Yep.
And it'll be like the first time in like 20 years that there hasn't been a trade from the new league year to draft night. It's kind of like tells you what you need to know about this draft, where it's just like, there's nothing.
Not a great draft, but really good value later on in the draft, and the Eagles may be able to take advantage of that. Real fast, everybody agrees Cam Ward's going first. I'm just looking at one of these Fugazi offshore books because they do a lot of props. Yeah. Travis Hunter is the overwhelming favorite to be number 2. Abdul Carter, not as much. He's minus 800 to be number 3. And then it's Will Campbell minus 500 to 4. And then Ashton Genty is the second favorite right there. And then Genty now is the favorite to go number 5 overall to the Jags.
Yep.
Which would and like to finish with the top 6 pick if you're the Raiders and really like not get any blue chip prospect. They can't take a tight end because honestly, like if you have a top pick, like you don't. I mean, like if I was the Patriots, I'd take Tyler Warren before. I know Will Campbell's supposed to be like nice and a good offensive lineman. Don't you want some type of an impact player like Tyler Warren? I mean, he could like if there, all this talk about how they need wide receivers and all this offensive talent. I understand the offensive line is very, very important.
Yeah, their offensive line is trash.
You know, it stinks. It does. It does. That's who they're going to draft, and who they probably should draft. But still, if you're at 6 and you're taking that, whoever that wide receiver is, Armand Mamu, where the hell his name is, like he could end up being the 6th overall pick. I didn't really know who he was.
Who?
Exactly.
Are you talking about McMillan?
No.
He's the an offensive lineman.
He's the offensive. He's the left tackle.
Yeah.
He's the left tackle.
I have him at 4.
Yeah.
I have him at 4 because he's a prototypical left tackle.
Right. All right. So Eagles wise. All right. My guess, and like, do I feel strongly about it? No, I have no idea who's on the Eagles draft board. Fran Duffy told me today that he had heard that the Eagles have been calling up with teams that are picking like 20-ish around that zone, just touching base and being like, hey, so they obviously have some teams in mind if there's a player that slips. I think here's what I think happens. Here's my best guess is that there's a team that likes one of these other quarterbacks. Ward's obviously going to go number 1, but if there's 1 or 2 quarterbacks that go in the first round, there's Jackson Dart. There's who's the other quarterback there?
Shador.
Well, not besides Shador. There's the Louisville kid,
Slowick.
Right, and Jackson Dart's there. So if there's a team like the Saints that want one of these quarterbacks but aren't going to use the 9th overall pick to do it, the Eagles sitting at 32, it allows them to jump the Giants and the Browns, who are going to be interested in a quarterback probably in the 2nd round, and they get that 5th-year option if they want it on the quarterback because it's a first-round draft pick. So if it makes a lot of sense that teams would be interested in that 32nd pick for a team that likes one of these other quarterbacks, the 2nd-tier quarterbacks. If Shador Sanders is still available, I'd be surprised if a team didn't jump up and try to get him at 32 if they like him. So I think it makes a lot of sense that the Eagles would trade out. They get still an early 2nd-round draft pick and then additional picks. So if the Saints had the 9th worst record, so you're picking at 41 with their 2nd-round draft pick if they were to move up. So, I mean, that would be my best guess right now.
I think they're 40 in the 2nd round. I saw a mock with them trading up from 40 to the Vikings.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll see. So what do you think they do?
The Eagles? If they don't trade out, I think they take the number 1 edge rusher on their big board. Because it's probably because like obviously they signed the 2 guys on the 1-year contracts, the dude from the Giants and the dude from the Chiefs. But it's just like there's no guarantee that they're here going forward, and they're going to need to replenish that position group anyway at some point in time. So I think that's where, and we all know how he likes to build in the trenches. So I think that'll be probably more likely where they go, no matter if they pick at the end of the 1st or at the beginning of the 2nd.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Edge rusher.
But if what you're hearing ends up being right, and they end up trading the early 20s, I think Warren's going to be there.
No, he's not.
I think he's going to be there.
There's are you ready? Number RELAX.
Yeah.
ZERO. 0% chance he makes it past 10.
I got him at 22.
Okay, well, yeah, I hope that's the case. I will I will shower. I'll come over and kiss you.
I think Loveland goes before Warren.
Huh?
I think Loveland goes before Warren.
Why?
Because he was a better all-around actual tight end, just didn't have anyone to throw him the ball at freaking Michigan.
Oh, yeah, because Drew Aller is Joe Montana.
Compared to the guys at Michigan, he is.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean,
did you see Orgy try to throw a forward pass this year?
Yeah, Michigan wasn't very good this year, for sure.
No, he wasn't.
All right, well, listen.
Loveland's a stud.
We'll see. Sometimes this draft is it gets a little hinky. It's a little strange. So
I don't see how he goes in the top 10. I really don't. It's
why?
Because I don't think any of the teams are going to draft
the Colts. Where are the Colts?
14.
Okay,
and I have them taking Loveland.
Ah, all right. I had not seen any draft expert say any of this, but then again, you are Delco's draft expert.
Yeah, sure.
If there's one person in Delco that I'm listening to for draft advice, it's you.
I think the Jets are going to go, offensive line, defense, because they're going to just start with what? They're going to expect Fields to just work with the trash offensive line they've had the last few years and be able to produce. Doesn't seem like
I agree.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like he's not going in the top 4. Jags aren't taking him. Raiders can't with, why am I blanking? With Brock Bowers.
Right.
It's a Carolina, maybe it's, I don't know. New Orleans, I don't think so.
Whoops.
Chicago is the only caveat, but in mine, I have Genty falling to 10. So.
Wow, man, you're all over the place. This definitely is a Delco mock draft. It's great.
Well, I didn't do trades. I couldn't do trades, so can't project the trades.
Yeah, I've seen Warren and the Bears as well because it's kind of a luxury pick. I've seen this a lot of times. They're like, well, the Bears don't really have many needs.
Right. Bullshit.
Oh, okay. How many games did they win last year? They don't have many needs. I know what they're saying, but
I think Cole Kmet is a fine tight end.
He's good.
Yeah. I don't think
but Warren is being perennial Pro Bowler, Gronk Jr.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you think he is 1 to Bowers?
Well, Bowers looks like he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
That's what I'm saying. Bowers went 12, 13. And I think Warren's going to go.
Did he go 12 or 13?
Something like that.
Well, and then for every one of those guys, you have Kyle Pitts. Who stinks.
And that's what I'm saying. Do these teams really going to value?
You went 13th,
taking him in the top 7? I don't know. Tight ends, in my opinion, I don't think tight ends go that high.
Well, I mean, it depends.
I'm trying to set it up so we can draft them. So cut me some slack.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're trying to work your angles so the Eagles can get them later on in the draft, thank you, Delco Steve.
I almost forgot to put them in my list of picks because I had them so far down, and I'm like, oh wait, that doesn't make sense.
Delco Steve, are you sad over the close? It's not actually closing. A lot of people maybe misread the high. They're just going to a different location.
They're opening a takeout place.
They're downsizing because they don't want the big dining room because it's just, if you've ever been to Pika's, it needed to be renovated. You don't need that big dining room. Sell freaking pizza. Have a couple tables. Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, I mean, my dad and I used to be when we were working in that area, we'd go sit at the bar in there and order a pizza for lunch and then dip out. But I haven't been sitting in there for a dinner in probably since high school.
Yeah, just to you don't need the overhead. You don't need to have to deal with it. Like sell friggin' pizza and have a fryer or two.
And they even built the whole takeout section onto that place. So it's
I like pizzas.
They clearly were doing more takeout business.
So you sent me pictures of this pizza.
Oh, the honey hot from Thunderbird that we were talking about last
honey
week.
Hot pepperoni pizza from Thunderbird. Right. And man, I gotta tell, it looks even better than you were describing it. I'm hungry as hell right now.
Yeah, I literally was the next day. Erica said something about should we get pizza tonight? I'm like, yeah, I definitely want it.
There it is. Oh man,
it was delicious.
And that's drizzle, honey hot drizzle right there.
Yep. And yeah, so to answer your question, we were talking about how many slices you could eat in a single setting by yourself with nothing else. Yeah. I could eat all slices of that. I limited myself to 4, but I could have ate all of it.
Yeah, for dinner, if it's just you with a large pie in front of you, and that's your dinner, no wings, no salad, no fries, anything like that, how many slices are you eating? Because Violations Greg, who works with Anthony on the Anthony Gargano show, said 2. And I'm like, what kind of a man are you eating 2 slices of pizza for dinner? And he's like, but I like to have salad. I'm like, no salad.
That's not part of the conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. Good. Literally ate 4 slices in 2 seconds, and then I was just like, shit. Because if I go back, I gotta leave some for the next time I'm going to. I gotta at least leave 2 slices behind.
Because otherwise, 1 slice doesn't do anything for you. It's like an hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah. So you eat it while you're making something else.
Right. Yeah. No, I would go 5. That would be my final answer. 5 slices. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I ended up going 4-2-2. I had 2 the next day and then 2 the following day.
4-2-2. Oh, it's a good strategy.
Yeah. The two lunchtime meals in there. It was perfect.
4-2-2. I love it. But that's going to add to the dynamic of the conversation. What's the strategy with a large pie? You go 4. Do you go 4-3-1? 4-2. See, I would go 5.
5-3. You got to go 5-3 at that point.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat 3 for lunch. That's.
Yeah. Or see, if you were my age and you were going out drinking, you could go 5-2 for lunch and then 1 be when you got home from the bar and you eat that and you pass out.
It also kills my blood sugar. I'm diabetic. So pizza in itself is terrible. It's very hard to manage the blood sugar with pizza because it's fatty and the carbs hit you later. But I just load up and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to pound this pizza. But doing it a second time, 2 days later, how many days would you allow a pizza to stay in the fridge and still eat it? What is the rule on that? Can you go 5 days?
Depending on the pizza, yeah.
All right, so it's Friday night. Friday night, you get the pie, you put it in the fridge. And by the way, anybody out there that doesn't wrap it in aluminum foil and just puts it in a box in the fridge, you're a Neanderthal. And Delco Steve probably doesn't. He probably doesn't wrap it up in foil.
It depends on the scenario. If everything gets cleaned up at a good time, it's foil in the fridge. If it's, oh shit, no one did that and it's 10:45 and I want to go to bed, then it goes in the fridge.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Just last thing with this guy, and I hope he never comes again. Dude, no one's tuning into your show on Twitter. I'm sorry, they're not. So just if you'd like to be involved in our community that we've built here, that we do it, fine. Otherwise, just go away. Because no one's going to tune into your show. No one's going to like your show. Nobody's going to care about your show. Nobody cares. All right. So leave the guy.
Is this the guy that we were blocking just back at a new?
I can't block him because he's commenting from Twitter. So you can't whack him unless he's on YouTube. So go to your show that nobody's going to watch.
Yeah. Why are you watching your union show right now?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't. No. But see, nobody. You guys aren't even dealing with them. So I appreciate that. You're just annoying because I like to look at the comments and put the good comments up there. Nobody is watching your show. So just know that. Nobody's watching the show. You can say, oh, he's from Delco. You don't know anything. Oh, you're from Willow Grove. If you want real Philly sports talk, this is the real 215. Nobody cares, and nobody's going to watch your show.
And I can't stand I love when people get into the argument. It's like, oh, well, that's not Philly. Or like when they say Villanova is not Philly, stuff like that. It's just like, okay, who would you, if you were born in Villanova, what sports teams would you root for? You just don't get to root for any sports teams because you weren't born in 215? Like,
well, I was born in 215, brother.
No, I'm not saying you in particular. I'm just saying
born in Philadelphia. I'm not going to lie like some people may and pretend they're born in Philadelphia. But my number's 215. I grew up with 215. I'm not a 618 guy like you.
But like if you go on vacation and someone says like, where are you from? What do you say?
Where am I?
Well, okay, you're in Punta Cana and someone asks you, where are you from?
I'm from the Philly area.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't say Willow Grove because then I have to explain where Willow Grove is. I say I'm from the Philly area.
Yeah, I say I'm from around Philly.
If I was from South Jersey, I'd say South Jersey. I wouldn't say Philadelphia. But like you would then explain South Jersey's in. No, I guess you would just say I'm from South Jersey, outside of Philly, right? Well, whatever.
I was like, I don't know. I can't stand when people get on their high horses about like, oh, you're from this area, you got to root for this. Like you can't be this or you can't be that. It's just like, it's whatever.
Yeah, well, go back to have your one live viewer on Twitter, putz. All right, so we actually have a sponsor to the program. Let me see here. I need Anthony. Anthony is the owner of AMT Construction. Here it is. There's the logo. AMTConstructionInc.com. There it goes. He builds everything, houses, like big projects, residential construction, remodeling, and renovations, building trust with quality work. Again, it is AMTConstructionInc.com. And we'll talk more with Anthony coming up here in future weeks. There you go. Vince likes your logo too, Anthony. There you go. He likes your branding. Be quiet, Vince. You're funny. All right, so I think it's a good way to wrap up tonight because this is a very Delco conversation, and I didn't know that things like this went on because, like, you know, in certain parts of our area where there is only on-street parking, or like I don't know, like people are very territorial when it comes to in front of their house. You get the lawn chairs and everything else. I didn't realize.
I have a lot of that around here.
Do you? Do you have a driveway?
Dude, I have. You want to talk about a driveway? I'm having had a whole feud with my neighbors about my part of the driveway.
So you have a shared driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that also is a big Delco thing where you have the shared driveway in the beginning and it splits off to your house and to the other house. Some parts of Delco, like Drexel Hill, other places don't have a driveway. So you're parking in the street. But what's the feud with your neighbors that you got going on, Delco Steve?
So I had a few potholes like in my part of the so I'm the end. So I have the longest strip of driveway for the whole block. And so I had a couple of potholes. Lady who lives dead middle of the freaking block came down and just started two different times harassing me about the potholes. And I'm like, well, the first time she was walking her dog, so I was like, whatever. Second time she was driving, I'm like, oh, I'm going to see where you live. Lives dead middle of the block. So like, you could go out the other end of the driveway and never even see my potholes. And first off, you could drive around them if you are capable of driving. It's just like they're not like, oh, it's directly where the tires are. You could drive around them. But whatever. So she got me cited. Then I go to fix them. And then my other crazy neighbor who lives 2 houses down starts bitching at me because she can't get in the driveway because the driveway's blocked off because it's getting fixed. It's so it's like, can't win. Can't win anyway.
Well, screw her.
I hate all of them. I literally. It's so much worse it's so much worse than what I'm painting it at now. Like there's so many other factors into it. I just can't even get into it because
I can imagine.
Because I will say words that I don't want to say on air.
Well, actually, I can't imagine because I can't So my wife's from Broomall. My in-laws still live in Broomall, where she grew up, and I've noticed this previously, but it's really starting to get heated recently because like. When a neighbor will have whatever at their house, like where are you gonna they don't have a parking garage to put people's cars, so like they're parking in front of my in-laws house, which is not appreciated by my in-laws. And apparently this is like a running feud with everybody. Oh, I got to plug my my laptop. But this is apparently a feud among like 4 neighbors in a row. Where so anytime you're in the house and they have like big windows in the front that you can see out to the street. So my father-in-law will park the cars. He'll take the cars out of the driveway and park the cars so you
on the street
so they can't park in front of his house. Because I pull up and I like to park in the street rather than the driveway so I don't get parked in. It's just easier. And so I parked literally, I was like on the property line between my in-laws' house and the house next door. Like the car, if it was even halfway, like it was like literally like right in the middle. And she's like, you can't park here. Why not? I can't park in front of his house. Like, I'm not in front of the house. She's like, well, you can't do it. Like, why not?
This is the neighbor?
My wife's saying this to me.
Oh.
And she's like, you can't park in front of the house. He'll have a fit. And I'm like, well, F him. And then I'm like, oh, but your dad has a fit too. So he spends the entire day, like on Easter, like you could see him paying attention. And then if somebody like parks across the street or is like anywhere, like he bolts right up and he's like looking. Well, he's like, look, he's parking in front of the house. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what you people do all day? Is this really what you do? You maniacs? So then, and they were wrong here. So somebody, and this was on Easter, somebody parked like, the driveway's full. So they pull the car up and it's blocking the sidewalk, completely blocking the sidewalk. And the car goes in to where like the back of the car is in the street. It's not doing anything to anybody that's driving by on the street, but you're completely blocking the sidewalk. This is a residential neighborhood. There's a lot of people walking dogs. There's a lot of people walking with kids.
You can't see the cars coming around.
You can't do that shit. No, man, you can't do it. So now he's pissed. He goes over to the house, knocking on the door. Whose car is this? You have to move this car. Now, he's not trying to walk by the house or whatever, but he's so freaking worried about everything. So these neighbors, it's Delco parking wars with these people.
Is it all like the generation above you?
Yeah. Well, no, but it's my wife too. She's just as aggressive as my father-in-law. Like she's like, hey, who's parking out there?
Well, she's trained by him.
She's trained.
So.
They're consumed. Dude, I'm telling you, they're consumed about the parking situation.
And
there's been police have been called multiple. Like you said that you got cited. Police have been called regarding it. There's been arguments. They're yelling at each other because they're parking in front of the house. You think I care if somebody parks in front of my house? I mean, like listen, I don't want them to park in front of my house
and leave it there.
Well, like if I don't want them to not park in front of their house if there's an open spot. But like if there's parties and stuff and there's people parking in front of my house, what do I care?
Yeah, if there's events going on, you utterly can't care. It's like I think about like when I lived at my parents' house, like I had to park on the street. So like when I would come home and there's cars parked in front of the house, it's like, okay, whatever. Like I park up the street a little bit, fine. But like when a car hasn't moved for 3 weeks from out front of my parents' house,
oh well, that's not okay.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, there was like an old lady that lived down the street. Like, I don't even know why she parked there, but she parked so terribly. She was like a foot and a half off the curb, and like, like how like if you park on an empty block and you just happen to like you pick the wrong spot where it's like you're like taking up a parking spot and a half. Like that's what this lady did. So she had this little car that was taking up almost 2 spots because it was just in the wrong spot and it didn't move for like 3 weeks. That lady, I was pissed. But, it's just events. You can't be mad about events.
But it's different. Like in my neighborhood, the houses are spaced out a lot more. Yeah. So if there's people parking in front of my house, there has to be a big party. Otherwise, there's no reason for them to park in front of their house. And Broomall, the house
more space off, but
split level house, all that, you know what I mean? Like it's just a smaller neighborhood. So it's almost impossible. Like, if you're going to have people over for a holiday, people are going to be parking in front of your house in Broomall. I'm just telling you. But I
live in a row home, so there's not a freaking open curb around here.
Right.
My neighbors across my side street, they're probably 60s, 70s. That the wife still works, husband's retired. as soon as she leaves for work, he'll take his car and park it out front. And then when she comes home, he'll move his car back out back, and she takes the parking spot out front.
Delco parking wars, man, I love it. I can't get enough of how consumed this entire family is over the parking situation. And I said to them, I go, just put a lawn chair out there. They're like, well, don't be ridiculous. I'm like, don't be ridiculous. Like, you're parking your cars. You're spacing it out just enough to where no one can get in front. They can park in between you. Oh my God, it's so funny. It's great. I get a kick out of it. All right. Well, there you go. Delco Steve. Thank you. Vince asked if I ever paid the PPA. I did not pay the PPA. The PPA lost. Johnny Marks won. TKO from Tokyo, as they once said in the Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I won, they lost. No, I was relentless with the PPA and just threatening them and sending emails to everybody of every whatever. And finally, they're just like, all right, whatever, it's done.
That was the one with the sign in the wrong spot or something, right?
They put up a loading. They put up a media. They put up you needed to be a credentialed member of the media to park in front of the WIP building, but they just put the sign up with no notice. No warning. I didn't see it.
Yeah. You park in there for all the time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's a ticket.
I parked on this street for a freaking year straight without a problem. I never got a ticket. I paid, and then what pissed me off more than anything, they were going to tow it. They put a tow sticker on it. And like no stopping. It was like $200 ticket. I'm like, whoa. And then I'm like going to every freaking place I can go. I'm like, I want to know what the law on the books is for how long you have to give notice. Like, what is the law? You can't just put up a sign and expect everybody's going to see it. Like, there's no signs in my eye level or on the kiosk. The sign's up here with an arrow pointed and an arrow pointed. How the hell do I know? You put it up on Friday. I was at Chickies and Pete's. And then on a Tuesday, I park in the spot. You're going to tow my freaking car? And no one has any answers. Like, I don't know what the law is. Like, well, how do you not know what the law is? And then this one chick from the PPA is like, well, normally the meter maid, whatever they call them these days or whatever, like, well, normally they'll give warnings for a couple of days. I'm like, so there's nothing on the books. It's just kind of what they want to do. And it's yeah. I'm like, oh, great. So no, I didn't pay. And I was boot and tow eligible. I was getting collection letters. I was parking in a garage. Like, believe me, if I would have just paid the friggin' ticket. Meanwhile, 18 months, I'm parking in a garage. I'm fighting with them. The amount of time I was going to offices in Center City, like on 15th and Market. And I'm demanding to know. I'm like sitting at this desk. These people are looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, I want to know the law on the books. For how long you have to give notice. Like, you have to give notice. And they're like, well, we don't know. And I'm like, oh my God. Can't believe this is happening.
I got a parking ticket in like Yaden for being like they do like street cleanup or whatever, like in the middle of the day, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. But the sign that tells you what day to park on it is halfway down the block. I parked like a house or two inside the block. So I never saw the sign. I'm like, how am I supposed to know I'm not allowed to park there?
It's crazy.
It's like, if like the sign's halfway down the block, I didn't have no reason to go down the block. I was 2 houses in and I stopped. But yeah, I argued that point and they got me out of it. So
I do know who this is now, because he was using his original identity before he forgot that he had to switch off to a different one. So yeah, he is a bitter man.
Fun.
He's a bitter man. Yeah, the camera tickets as well are bogus. But you know what happened? I turned right and it said no turn on red. I swore when I got the ticket, I'm like, this is bullshit. And I went to the intersection. I'm like, oh no, there is a sign right there. I'm like, all right. And you could see it in the picture. So I'm like, all right, I paid the ticket. What are you gonna do?
Have you been to like down like Bartram Island Ave, like where all those the camera lights are down that way?
Yeah.
So when they first put them in, my dad and I got two within like a week of each other going down to the Flyers games and had no idea it happened.
Because you're just floating.
Yeah, because we're just driving like we always did going down to the games. Like the first one, he was like, "Oh, do you want to drive? Like, do you mind driving?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And like we saw something flash. We're like, son of a bitch. Like, what was that? Like,
yeah,
and
then
then
yeah.
So that was $100. And then it was like 2 days later, he's like, here's another one. And I'm like, I didn't drive down there again. He's like, no, this one's mine. I'm like, okay.
I had texted Jack. He asked me like 6 months ago if I ever paid him, and absolutely not. I believe the words I said was over my dead body. When I like literally, my car would get towed before I would pay them 1 cent. I was so mad. I got towed so many times down in the city. It's like you look at the signs and you're like, all right, I'm cool to park here, right? And then you're not, because you don't know how to read the signs, or it's like something's facing the wrong way. I don't know, man. I'm so glad I'm not having to park in the city anymore. I have a nice lot that I can park in now, PHLY. So there you go. All right, Delco Steve. Enjoy the draft, man.
I'll be locked in. We'll see how many we get right.
You're not getting it. You're not getting any right based on your Delco mock drafts you were given.
We'll see. We'll see. I bet you I get at least 12 right.
So what do you have? Give me your mock draft. Give it to me. I forgot that you had it.
We got Ward, Hunter, Carter, Membu. All right, here we go. McMillan, 5 to the Jags. More so because I think the Jags are going to trade back, but that's what we're doing. Banks to the Raiders. Campbell to the Jets. Graham to the Panthers. Walker to the Saints. Genty, Chicago. Williams, Niners. Golden to the Cowboys.
All right, I've had enough. Al Golden to the Cowboys?
The receiver.
Golden Tate?
The Texas receiver. Yeah, Dallas, they got Jerry's got to get the fast guy that's from the guy in his backyard. Like,
they'll be so happy to do it too.
Yeah, 100%. I had Warren to the Chargers and Abuka or however you say the wide receiver from Ohio State to the Packers. They were the couple interesting ones. There's a lot of guys in there that were just like kind of whatever dudes though. And I had the Eagles taking Stewart, the edge from A&M.
Yeah, I don't think he. You know what? I guess he could. I've seen people that are saying that he could go much earlier than that, but
the highest I saw,
a lot of people saying 32.
The highest I saw him was 30 or 23 to the Packers.
Hmm.
And the way I was kind of doing it, like more guys were down lower, so we'll see.
Yep. All right. Enjoy, man. Enjoy the draft, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on PHLY. Why? Like and subscribe. Don't follow Delco Steve on social media because he gives you nothing. Why don't you post your mock draft? Is it written in crayon or a pencil?
No, it's pen and sharp.
Let me see it. Let me see it. Is there misspellings on it?
Probably.
Wow. There you go. You do know college football. I'll say that. You watch a lot of college football like me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this draft. I'm like looking at the top of this draft, and I'm just like, God, I can't believe these guys. Some of these guys are first rounders.
They sure are.
Last year they were this like second and third round, and we'd be talking about how deep this draft is.
Well, but this draft is it's strong. Like this is like a team by team draft, right? Like you may have the Eagles that love a guy and he's able to slide on. Like Nolan Smith went 30, right?
Yeah,
and Eagles were looking at him early in the top 10.
They drafted him at 10, I would have lost my shit.
Right, and he's good, so they got really good value. There's going to be a lot of players that slide into that range that like some teams may not think much of them, other teams might, and the Eagles will be able to get a really good player. Got to pick the right one, obviously. But
yeah, I think obviously like the trenches guys, like there's always going to be somebody that pops, and but when it comes down to the substantial blue chip players, there's like usually a good draft has like to 15. You have really good prospects. I think you could have duds, and you could have multiple duds in the top 15 this year.
Yep.
So that's the way I'm looking at it.
I agree. There's not that much of a difference between 12 and 32.
I mean, like look at our favorite draft to reference is like the Aguilar draft. Like there were studs in the mid 20s, like just sitting there, like take those guys. Like, come on.
All right, everybody.
We'll see.
Go Phillies. Thank God they can't lose tomorrow because they're not playing. We will talk to y'all.
No.
Go Birds. See you.
Peace.